Good morning, 302. I'm Miss Cochran.
And I'm Amelia Pearson. We have two special guests that we're going to introduce before we read a book to you.
Okay, who are our special guests?
This is Puppy. He likes playing fetch. And this is Minnie. She's a mouse.
Fantastic. Welcome, Puppy and Minnie. Now, Isla, can you introduce our book? What book are we going to read today?
I'm going to read on.
Perfect.
This is the true story of the Three Little Pigs.
And it's written by John Scieszka and Lane Smith. Okay, we ready for the book? The true story of the Three Little Pigs. The true story of the Three Little Pigs. Everybody knows, let's scooch this up a little bit. Everybody knows the story of the three pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story.
Who's talking, Mama?
I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too.
Yeah. Bunnies are not disgusting.
But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story.
He knew the pigs now to do it.
Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar.
Look, he put a bunny inside his cake.
Ew, disgusting.
I think I know big bad wolves eat animals.
So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw?
That's not sturdy enough. When you sneeze, he will let the pig's house fly.
So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in, and I didn't want to just walk in to somebody else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I sneezed. Achoo!
Can I hear you first?
Yep.
Achoo! Now your turn.
And I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. I was feeling a bit better, but I still didn't have a cup of sugar, so I went to the next door neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much.
He's going to sneeze down this house too.
Oh, he had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze.
First, I have to sneeze, Mom.
Okay.
Achoo! Your turn.
Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail, Wolf's honor.
He's gonna eat him.
Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother.
He's not going to blow down this house.
Pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the door. I knocked on the brick house. You want to knock?
Mm-hmm.
No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? Do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite.
Oh, he's super mad.
He is. He probably had a whole stack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me one little cup for my dear sweet Granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed again. You want to do a sneeze? Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin.
What's a pin, Mama?
A pin is like a needle, like that would prick your bottom.
That's so funny.
Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me a big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed.
What's framed mean?
Framed means that somebody decided that he had done it, and they made the story look like he was guilty or that he had made those mistakes.
What's guilty mean?
Guilty means that if you do something wrong and they find that you did something wrong. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar.
Why did he say that to the cop?
I don't know. Should we show 302 before we say goodbye? The decorations that we made for our book club up there. Do you see? We made some decorations for our book club studio here in Isla's bedroom. Okay, 302, we'll see you later. Have a fantastic day and keep reading. Get those 100 books.